The glittering chandeliers of the Metropolitan Fashion Gala cast diamond-like reflections across the marble floors. Fashion industry titans mingled with celebrities and influencers, champagne flutes clinking in celebration of another year of defining what beauty meant to the world. Asha Kumar stood at the entrance, her invitation clutched tightly between fingers that betrayed her nervousness despite her confident posture. Her emerald silk dress, a design she had painstakingly created over sleepless nights, felt suddenly inadequate among the sea of haute couture surrounding her. "Your name?" asked the attendant, barely glancing up from the digital tablet. "Asha Kumar, I'm on the list." Her voice carried a subtle accent, a reminder of humble beginnings in a small town outside Mumbai before her family immigrated to America when she was 12. The attendant's perfectly manicured nail scrolled through the names. "Kumar, I don't see." "She's with me," a voice smooth as aged whiskey interrupted. Marcus Blackwood, editor-in-chief of Vogue International, approached with a practiced smile. "Asha, darling, your collection was the talk of Paris Fashion Week's underground scene. I'm delighted you could make it." Relief washed over her face. "Thank you, Marcus, I'm honored too." "Is this the charity case everyone's been whispering about?" The crowd parted like the Red Sea for Victoria Stone, fashion mogul and CEO of Stone Couture. Her silver blonde hair was pulled into a severe bun that accentuated her razor-sharp cheekbones. The girl who sews in her apartment and calls it haute couture. Victoria's gaze swept over Asha's dress with theatrical disgust. "Darling, green is so provincial this season. And that stitching," she reached out, pinching the fabric between her fingers without permission, "machine-made, how quaint." Asha stood frozen, the blood draining from her face as the surrounding crowd tittered with barely concealed amusement. "I hand-stitched every." "Save it for your little Etsy shop." Victoria turned to her entourage. "Let's not waste time, the real designers are waiting." As Victoria glided away, Asha caught Marcus's apologetic glance before he followed the crowd, leaving her alone at the entrance. The attendant now looked at her with a mixture of pity and second-hand embarrassment. "Would you like me to call you a car, miss?" the attendant asked softly. Asha straightened her shoulders. "No, I'm on the list. I designed for 3 celebrities in attendance tonight. I belong here." With those words, she stepped into the hall, aware of every eye that followed her, every whisper behind manicured hands. The weight of Victoria's dismissal hung around her neck like a noose, but she wouldn't give them the satisfaction of seeing her break. Not yet anyway, because nobody in this room knew what Asha Kumar had endured to get here or what she was about to become. 3 years earlier, Asha sat across from Eliza Montgomery in a sun-filled studio in Manhattan's Garment District. Sketches littered the table between them, Asha's portfolio open to designs that had earned her a full scholarship to Parsons and later, an apprenticeship with Eliza, the fashion world's most respected mentor. "You have something special, Asha," Eliza said, tapping a red-nailed finger against a particular sketch. "This construction method, it's innovative. No one's approaching sustainable luxury quite like this." Asha beamed with pride. After 2 years under Eliza's wing, such praise still felt like sunshine. "I was thinking of approaching some investors, maybe start my own small line." Eliza's eyes sparkled. "Perhaps we could do better than that. I've been thinking of launching a sub-label for emerging voices. Your aesthetic would be perfect as the flagship designer." "You mean under the Montgomery brand?" "Precisely." Eliza reached across the table and squeezed Asha's hand. "Just let me handle the business side. You focus on creating. That's where your genius lies." That night, Asha called her parents. "Mom, I think this is it, the big break." The next 6 months were a whirlwind. Asha created an entire collection under Eliza's guidance, 18 pieces that represented her heritage blended with modern techniques. Sustainable fabrics, hand embroidery techniques passed down from her grandmother, construction methods that minimized waste. It was everything she had dreamed of creating. The day before the collection was to be presented to Montgomery's board, Asha arrived early to the studio, only to find it empty of her designs. Panicked, she called Eliza. "Oh, didn't I tell you? The meeting was moved up, just finished, actually." Eliza's voice was casual, unconcerned. "But in my collection, I wanted to present it myself." "Don't worry, darling, I handled everything." The board loved it, their green lighting production immediately. Relief flooded through her. "That's amazing. When do we start?" "Well, here's the thing." Eliza's tone shifted subtly. The board feels the collection needs an established name behind it. Marketing reasons, you understand. I don't understand. Your contract with us clearly states that designs created during your employment belong to Montgomery Designs. We'll credit you as part of the team, of course. Valuable experience for your resume. Asha felt as if she'd been doused with ice water. But you said this was supposed to be my line, my name. Did I? I don't recall making promises. This industry doesn't run on promises, Asha. It runs on contracts. And yours doesn't entitle you to what you're asking for. 3 weeks later, Asha watched from the back row as Eliza presented her collection at New York Fashion Week with one critical difference. Every piece had been attributed to Eliza Montgomery, with special thanks to our design team. No mention of Asha's name anywhere. The collection was an immediate success. Orders poured in from luxury retailers worldwide, and Eliza's star rose even higher. Meanwhile, Asha found herself blacklisted from every major fashion house in New York. I'm sorry, but we can't risk angering Eliza, her former friend and fellow designer Jaden explained over coffee. She's saying you tried to steal her designs, then made a scene when confronted. Nobody wants that drama. That's a lie. She stole from me. Jaden looked away uncomfortably. Look, I believe you, but I'm launching my own label next year. I need her endorsement. That was the last time Jaden spoke to her. Within months, Asha's savings depleted. She took a job at a fast fashion retailer doing basic pattern work, designing clothes she would have once considered beneath her talents. Her apartment shrank from a bright studio to a shared basement unit in Queens. Every night she sketched by lamplight, building a new collection no one would see, at least not yet. Back at the Metropolitan Fashion Gala, Asha navigated through the crowd with a glass of champagne she hadn't touched. Each step felt like walking through a minefield of judgment and derision. That's her, whispered a young model to her companion, the one Victoria just destroyed at the entrance. God, the nerve, showing up with a knockoff of her own design. Asha's hand tightened around her glass. They were right, in a way. The emerald dress was inspired by one of her original designs, one that now sold for thousands under Eliza Montgomery's label. She spotted Jaden across the room, now a rising star with his own successful line. Their eyes met briefly before he turned away, pretending not to see her. Asha made her way toward the bar, needing a moment alone, when a hand caught her arm. Asha Kumar, I didn't expect to see you here. Eliza Montgomery's voice was honeyed poison. Still sewing in your free time. Asha met her former mentor's gaze. Actually, I have a new collection launching next month. Eliza laughed, the sound drawing attention from nearby guests. Really, from what I hear, you're designing bargain bin clothes for teen style now. How the mighty have fallen. I've been working on my own designs after hours. Of course you have. Eliza's smile was predatory. Tell me, how many department stores have picked it up? Any celebrities wearing your label yet? Before Asha could respond, Victoria Stone joined them, champagne flute in hand. Eliza, darling, who is your little friend? She seems familiar. Just a former intern. She believes she's launching a collection. Victoria's eyes lit with malicious delight. Oh, the copycat, I remember now, tried to claim she designed half of Eliza's breakthrough sustainable collection. I didn't try to claim anything, they were my designs. The words escaped before Asha could stop them. The conversation around them quieted. Eliza's face hardened. You know, I've been patient with your delusions, but this has gone far enough. Security. A tall man in a black suit appeared almost instantly. This woman is harassing me. She has a history of unstable behavior and making false claims about my work. Please escort her out. What? No, Asha backed away. I have an invitation. A mistake, clearly, Victoria added. Or perhaps she forged it. Wouldn't be the first time she's taken credit for others' work. The security guard took her arm firmly. Ma'am, please come with me. Check the list. I'm Asha Kumar. I designed Aria Daniels' dress for tonight. Aria Daniels is wearing Versace, someone in the crowd called out. No, she changed her mind at the last minute. She's wearing my design. The crowd's laughter felt like acid on her skin. Phones were out now, recording her humiliation. Tomorrow, she would be a viral moment, the desperate wannabe designer making a scene at the gala. As security led her toward the exit, she caught sight of Aria Daniels arriving in a Versace gown. The actress's apologetic text from earlier suddenly made sense. Someone had gotten to her, convinced her to change. At the exit, the guard's grip softened. "For what it's worth, I'm sorry, this industry can be cruel." She nodded, numb, as the massive doors closed behind her. Standing alone on the steps of the Metropolitan Museum, Asha watched her dream crumble for the second time. A black town car pulled up, and the window lowered to reveal an elderly man with kind eyes. "Ms. Kumar, Richard Goldstein, I'm sorry to approach you like this, but I've been trying to reach you for weeks. I represent Vantage Capital. We'd like to discuss an investment opportunity." Asha looked back at the closed doors, then at the offered business card. The night had already been a disaster. What more did she have to lose? "I'm listening." 6 months later, the fashion world's elite gathered once again, this time for the annual Fashion Federation Awards. The ceremony, held at the Lincoln Center, recognized innovation and excellence across the industry. Victoria Stone sat at the front table, nominee for Designer of the Year for the third consecutive year. Beside her, Eliza Montgomery smiled for the cameras, her latest collection having garnered critical acclaim despite lackluster sales. "And now," announced the host, "the moment we've all been waiting for. The Designer of the Year award recognizes not just creativity, but business acumen and industry impact." The spotlight swept across the nominees. Victoria straightened her posture, preparing her acceptance speech mentally. This year's winner has demonstrated extraordinary vision, not just in design, but in reimagining what a fashion house can be in the modern era. The award goes to... The dramatic pause stretched. Kumar Designs, represented by founder and creative director Asha Kumar. A collective gasp rippled through the audience. Victoria's champagne glass froze halfway to her lips. Eliza's smile calcified. From the back of the hall, Asha emerged. Gone was the uncertain young designer from the gala. In her place stood a woman transformed, confident, radiant, wearing a stunning red gown of her own design. The audience parted before her, murmurs following in her wake. At the podium, Asha accepted the award with grace. "Thank you. This recognition means everything, especially given my journey." Her eyes found Victoria and Eliza in the crowd. "Some of you may remember my last public appearance. I was escorted out of the Metropolitan Gala, labeled a fraud and a copycat." She let the uncomfortable silence linger. "That night changed everything. As I stood outside on those steps, I met Richard Goldstein of Vantage Capital. He had seen my early work, the original designs that later appeared under another label. He believed in my vision when no one else would." Eliza shifted uncomfortably in her seat. "With Vantage's investment, I launched Kumar Designs, but more importantly, I acquired something else." Asha reached into her clutch and withdrew a small card. "This is my business card. It lists me as CEO of Kumar Designs and as the new majority shareholder of First Avenue Bank." Victoria's face drained of color. "Yes, that First Avenue Bank, the one that holds the mortgages on Stone Couture's production facilities. The same bank that finances Montgomery Designs' operations. The bank that both of you," she looked directly at Victoria and Eliza, "attempted to block me from obtaining a business loan from, claiming I was a credit risk and unstable." The audience was deadly silent now. "For years, I tried to secure financing to launch my own line. Every bank turned me down after receiving concerns from established industry figures. Every investor suddenly backed out after mysterious phone calls. So when Mr. Goldstein offered me not just investment in my designs, but a chance to acquire the bank itself through Vantage's holding company, well, it seemed poetic." Victoria stood abruptly. "This is absurd. You can't possibly." "My tech assistant will now distribute some documents," Asha continued calmly. "Loan applications with your signatures, Victoria. Emails from your office, Eliza, specifically requesting that my applications be denied. All obtained legally through my position as the bank's new owner." Young assistants moved through the audience, distributing file folders to key industry figures and press representatives. "I could have called your loans. I could have destroyed your companies with a single decision. That's what you would have done in my position, isn't it?" Asha's voice remained steady. "Instead, I chose to simply design better clothes." She gestured to the screens behind her, which lit up with her collection, innovative, sustainable designs that had quietly taken the industry by storm over the past 6 months. Kumar Designs has secured exclusive contracts with 17 major retailers. Our waiting list is 6 months long, and yes, we're profitable. Because it turns out when you don't waste energy destroying others, you can create something truly extraordinary. The audience erupted in applause, people rising to their feet. In the front row, Victoria and Eliza remained seated, faces ashen. The aftermath was immediate and merciless. As the award ceremony ended, journalists swarmed around Asha, while Victoria and Eliza were conspicuously ignored, a complete reversal of the natural order that had existed for years. Ms. Kumar, can you confirm the authenticity of these documents? A reporter from Women's Wear Daily thrust a microphone toward her. Every document distributed tonight is authentic and legally obtained, Asha replied calmly. As majority shareholder of First Avenue Bank, I had access to all correspondence regarding loan applications, including my own rejected ones. The screens throughout the venue now displayed evidence for all to see. Email correspondence between Victoria Stone and the bank's former loan officer.